which, by the way, this is the very first time you're hearing 83 Weeks on a Friday. We did a little switcheroo, so no more Mondays for old Easy E, unless it's a Wise Choices or a YouTube exclusive at 83weeks.com. But week in, week out, plan on seeing 83 Weeks everywhere you enjoy podcasts on Fridays. Now, Eric, you have been reviewing and discussing a lot of AEW programming in a period where most people believe, and I think the facts support it, AEW's in a down period right now. And if we're going to, be fair, because this is the criticism that whenever you're critical of AEW, people say, but he killed WCW. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at one of those less than Nitros on the 25th anniversary. And we want you to watch along with us. The good, the bad, and the ugly of WCW in 1999. We're going to go to season 5, episode 19. So get your Peacock out, pull up Nitro, season 5, episode 19. That's season 5, episode 19. I'm locked and loaded on my side, Eric. You got it ready on your side?
I'm ready to go.
Well, here we go. We'll do a little countdown and we'll go live here watching a very special edition of Monday Nitro from May 17th, 1999, exactly 25 years ago today. I want you to watch along with us on Peacock at season 5, episode 19 in 3, 2, 1, play. So there we see we've got the new redesigned WCW logo that everybody pretty much universally hates now. I think when I associate the bad years of WCW, I think of that logo. Is that fair, Eric?
That was the beginning, right? It's definitely. That is the point in time when Harvey Schiller came to me and said, Eric, you're doing too much. You need to learn how to delegate. If you want to be an executive in Turner Broadcasting, you need to learn that skill. And because I wasn't good at it, I felt like I had to approve, being involved, all that with every aspect of WCW. And it's not realistic. So I took Harvey's advice. Nick Lambros, who was really, I think he was an executive vice president at the time. He was really my right-hand man in many respects. He was the attorney for WCW, but he was also involved in a lot of other aspects, including marketing. Nick Lambros oversaw marketing, and he hired a guy by the name of Jay Hessman. Jay Hessman was hired to take over marketing in WCW. And for some reason, I guess the Brain Trust at that time decided that we needed a new logo. I don't know why, in retrospect, but I went along with it because I was a little bit, I had a jail food mentality when it came to all things WCW. And in an effort to kind of learn how to be a better executive, I let that happen. And that was the beginning of a lot of bad things. Not the cause of it. I don't want to suggest that, but it was the beginning.
We're knee deep in story here where we see the president of World Championship Wrestling logo on a door, and it's had Roddy Piper. And of course, Little H, Charles Robinson, slides in the new nameplate for Ric Flair. We also saw Little H jump out of the limo there with Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Diamond Dallas Page. This is a fun moment for Little H. I mean, he grew up a super fan of Ric Flair and Mid-Atlantic, and then later WCW, and then he actually became a referee and he becomes a part of the program. But you go back to early shows and you can actually see him front row holding up signs. And now he's not, quote unquote, just a referee. He's involved in story. How pumped was Charles for this?
First of all, Charles is such a great person.
Yes.
He's high energy. He's always positive. Even now, when I see him occasionally, if I cross paths with him in WWE, he's still just such a positive, likable guy. And to see him get that experience, and he wasn't shy about letting you know how excited he was and grateful he was for that opportunity. It was fun. It was fun for me to see him have so much fun.
We think the world of Charles Robinson, and it's crazy to think, man, he's still doing his thing at a high level, still one of the big time referees with WWE, which means He's going to be going to Saudi Arabia. Can't believe that's real, but King and Queen of the Ring is coming up this next weekend, as well as Double or Nothing. Happy to tell you that 83weeks.com is going to be your home for both of those shows. We're going to be doing a post show, Eric, after the Queen and King of the Ring in Saudi Arabia at 83weeks.com. And the very next day, or maybe it's the same day, it's a double header. Yeah. We got the AEW Double or Nothing as well. So how about that, man? Post show coverage for both pay-per-views. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly at 83weeks.com. So as soon as that WWE pay-per-view from Saudi Arabia finishes, hurry on over to 83weeks.com. And when Double or Nothing starts winding down, yes, it will be a late night. Cruise on over to 83weeks.com. And that's what's interesting is we're actually going to be doing our post show during the press conferences for both. So we might get some breaking news to respond to as well. And we want to hear from you. What did you think of the shows? What was the best match? What was the worst match? What were you most surprised about? What were you most disappointed in? Join us live, totally free at 83weeks.com and take a look at Ric Flair doing his thing with Mean Gene. When you go back and you watch these old Nitros, it's always a highlight to me just to see Rick and Mean Gene together, because you knew they were having a blast in real life.
They were having a blast. It's great to see on there with Rick as we're watching now, if you're watching along with us. Yeah, but it is. There's just something magic about Mean Gene, and it takes me back. It's kind of like mental macaroni and cheese. Macaroni and cheese being, kind of a comfort food, something I grew up with. Maybe not the best for you nutritionally or anything else, but it just makes you feel good because you hearken back to a simpler time and place as a young person. And I feel the same way when I watch Gene and Rick and see Arn in there, Little Nate. It brings me back to what for me was a very exciting period of time. So I always get that macaroni and cheese mentality when I see Mean Gene.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what AdFreeShows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-Free Shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that AdFreeShows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. AdFreeShows.com.